What's happening? I'm Josh from Citizen Zero here at the House of Blues in Chicago. First time playing with a band called Citizen Zero, out on tour right now with Scott Stapp and Pop Evil for the rest of 2016. 2017 is a whole new year though. I'm very, very proud to show you my baby. Oh my God, look at her. We grew up listening to like just pure rock and roll, dude, and there's nothing more rock and roll than Gibson Les Paul. So I got a Les Paul custom here. I think it's a like a mid 2000s. I don't really know, to be completely honest, but I'm like terribly partial to the look of the like the maple fretboard. And other than that, man, it's pretty. She's pretty stocked. I'm all Ernie Ball now, just as of kind of lately started switching to the Ernie Ball Cobalts, and I play 11s on this guy, and I'm pretty sure I'm never going to switch ever again. They came out with these new strings of Cobalts, and something about tension, and I don't know how much I believe it or not, but I think the placebo effects got me convinced that this whole new Cobalt string is a little bit hotter than a normal string. So kind of based on that, I'm now hooked. So everything's Ernie Ball, from straps to strings, Dunlop strap locks, and then just two volume knobs for different kind of things. For me, I'm singing, so I'm going back and forth between like playing guitar and not playing guitar. So I'm using pretty much my neck pickup for just a kill switch. So I keep the volume down on this one all the way just to come up here. Or if we're doing some songs like Applause and Fame, or if there's something that's going to be a little more clean, I'm just barely touching it on, and then using this for more of like my clean channel. I only play a single channel, dirty amp, so it's absolutely necessary to have that. So this was like my first tried and true Gibson Les Paul custom. So this is the yin to the yang of the black. So I see literally the exact same guitar. It's set up the exact same strings, same kind of setup with the pickups. I'm only playing this on a couple of songs, the same tuning, just a half step down for some of the stuff that we do. But of course, under the right light, white looks a little different than black. So, same thing, maple fretboard, same kind of year model, probably mid 2000s. And yeah, this is still like my workhorse and my baby. I think I'm partial to. I might be partial to this one. This has been my workhorse for literally, I think my first like serious guitar I ever bought was it's just a Les Paul traditional, and she's dirty. She's been in here because we haven't been playing any of the stuff in this tuning. This is all the way dropped to B, so it's a bit low. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's not really designed for it, but for some reason this one, I tried to set those up for it and they just would not take, but for some reason this one just works. I don't know what it is. It's just special, and yeah, that's it. And I'm surprised it's not more beat up than it has been, but it's got some nicks and scrapes and belt ruffle and all sorts of stuff, but it's actually maintained its integrity for the most part. I can't believe it because it's been dropped and spilled on and used and abused for years. Pickups are literally the exact same as the other guitars. I think they came with the original guitars came with 57s, but I changed them out just to the 490Ts just to match my Les Paul customs, just because it's too hard to kind of adjust on the fly for tone. So I always kind of wanted my tone no matter what. So Gibson Les Paul customs come with 498, 490. That's kind of my pickups. My pickups that I'm always going to use. I got hooked up with Naylor out of Detroit. It's actually that's where we're from, Detroit, Michigan. They were a amp company in the 90s coming up, and it's kind of always been like a studio secret amp. Versatility is not crazy, but like I said, I used my volumes for kind of channel switching and stuff. It's a single channel amp, low gain and high gain setting, and it's just a great 5881 power tube amp. It's only 38 watts, and it's been kind of my main rig. I tried Orange, I tried Marshall, and just kind of Naylor's got the best of both, except for they found a way to do it better than both. And then, of course, 1973 Marshall cab that's been through hell and back. I've only had it for probably 8 years or something like that, but it's been in that case. So I think all the nicks and scratches and stuff were earned by somebody else, but it's just got original English greenback 25 Celestians, and it's my favorite cab. If I could find a straight cab, anybody out there, look us up. If you got one, I'll buy it for you. I keep things simple, not crazy. Obviously, wireless. This is really, really cool. I found this. I was looking at all sorts of different kind of reverb pedals, and then came out with a Blackout Effectors mix. This is called Cadaverous. And it's really cool. It's just it's got a button here to kind of just turn it on, and then this swell button, which is a momentary switch. So if you hold this, it kind of does this swell, and you can kind of with the regeneration, you can kind of in the swell knobs here, you can kind of really get it to create some pretty crazy soundscapey madness, endless feedback kind of stuff. So this is pretty cool. It just sounds great when it's just on by itself too, but having this little swell button is really cool for kind of like a cool effect at the end of songs and stuff. EP booster, this just stays on. It's just a cool little boost pedal. If it's all the way off, it's 3 dB. There's some dip switches inside that you can kind of adjust to make it more of a vintagey kind of mid-range scoop, not as bright and harsh. I keep that on. I'm about 9 o'clock here, and all this is just adds a little bit of color, adds a little bit of and then with our ZVEX here, this is a Boxer Rock. It's just a dual stage boost and distortion. I'm not using this too much, so I might be taking this out soon and replacing it with something, but it's just cool to kind of emulates like a fuzz, but it looks sort of like a clean fuzz. And then this is just a standard Korg pitch black tuner.
Hey, I'm Sammy Boller for Citizen Zero, and this is my main guitar. It's a Gibson Les Paul Access. I'm pretty sure it's a one-off. I'm not totally sure who designed it, but it's got the specs like a Les Paul Custom. The most unique thing is it has a Floyd Rose, and then the heel and the back is a little bit cut off, so you can kind of get it by. But yeah, I've used this pretty much the whole set. It's kind of like the #1 for sure. Usually just the bridge pickup, and then for clean, sometimes I'll use the middle. It's got coil taps too, so that kind of comes in handy, but I'm usually just full blown on the bridge pickup. So yeah, I'm usually just full blast on the knobs. I'm usually just on the bridge pickup, but for clean, I usually use the middle, and then I'll pull the bridge pickup coil tap, so it's like the full blown neck humbucker, and then combined with the bridge single coil. I use Elixir strings pretty much exclusively, 10 through 46, and then we're almost always down a half step, so this is down a half step. And sometimes we pull this out, it's like a D-tuner, so it drops it down. But yeah, usually just straight down a half step, 10 through 46. It works. So this is the other guitar I use live. It's a Gibson Explorer. I'm pretty sure it's a 90s, I'm not totally positive. I got it on Craigslist for $400 when I was in high school. But it's all stock. I've replaced the pickups a bunch of times, but I just keep going back to the stock pickups. This is in drop B tuning, so it's got really heavy strings on it. It's a custom set because I don't really like the wound G, so I kind of made one with a non-wound G. But yeah, drop B, and then the bottom string is like a 68. So the necks on Gibsons are short, so you got to kind of keep them pretty heavy to make them not flop around. But yeah, it's a great guitar, man. Cool. So this is the spare. This is actually this is like the first nice guitar I ever got. It's a Gibson SG 61 reissue. Same thing, 10 through 46, down a half step. And same thing, I'm always on top of all these, but it hasn't hit the stage yet this tour, luckily, but that's a good axe. Cool, so this is the best amp ever. No, to me at least. It's a Friedman Brown Eye 100 and Friedman cabinet. So 3-channel head. I'm usually in the middle channel. I adjust the settings a lot. I mean, it depends, like, you know, with the room. You know, you try and tune it into the room, but that's pretty much how I have it set.
Maybe it's that cable there.
And the master is on 10, but I use the effects loop. So when you use the effects loop, the master volume is actually in the back of the amp, so it's not always on 10, even though it might appear that way. But yeah, it's an amazing head, man. Incredible. I've always been kind of an amp distortion guy. You know, like I like getting the tone of the amp. So there's not really much in front. It's just I go straight into the tuner, and it goes into the front of this ISP decimator. And they're built in Detroit. That's where we're from. So it's always good to have local companies. But out of there, it just goes straight into the amp. And then the effects loop runs through this as well. So it takes the send out of the effects loop into here, and goes into a carbon copy, MXR. My friend Scott there is awesome. And Holy Grail reverb.
No, I'm not
So,
seeing
yeah,
it.
these are usually on like all the time. I use the delay kind of like an ambient. I use it more like a reverb, but yeah, it's great, man. Then the main thing I'm hitting is the foot switch.
Okay.
Yeah, and tapping that all night. Thanks for checking out our gear, and I'm Sammy from Citizen Zero. You can find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. Cheers.